The Adventurous 4. Yippee! Happy birthday. Thank you, Canarius, and thank you for the bits. That's very, very kind. I'm not doing anything for my birthday, by the way. I'm doing this, and then I might nap or read a book. Like, I'm not doing anything. I need to go out and I need to do some errands around the house, to be honest. I need to, like, clean the cat litter and stuff later. I'm just going to be, like, keeping myself busy around the house. I don't do anything. I don't do anything to celebrate any holiday, but especially my birthday. I don't care about it, basically. I don't think anyone... You know what? This is how little I celebrate my birthday. Emma, last night, remembered that it was my birthday today. I got an achievement for visiting the main menu, by the way. Fuck off. This is very loud for me. Hang on. Is it very loud for anyone else? That's a bit better for me. Last night, Emma remembered it was my birthday and then told me to get her a cake. I have not done this, but she said, oh, you should get me a cake for my birthday. Because she knows I hate cake, but she still thinks birthdays should have cake. Go on, Emma. She went, you should go down to Tesco and get like a caterpillar cake. And I went, I don't know why I would do that. I don't like cake. And she went, yeah, but I like cake. Okay, I'm off. The game is coming. Have a good day. You should probably go to sleep knowing your time zone. Good night, Loki. Our games, options. I love that this main title screen does not have the name of the game anywhere included on it. English version? I'm gonna click English version because fucking hell, I'm not gonna know Russian. Options. Oh, Jesus. Settings. Resolution theme. What does that mean, game? High quality on. Sure. Yeah, that's all good. I'll leave that as it is. English version. The Adventurous 4, and what looks like a sturgeon or something, but I think it might be a dinosaur boy. This is technically a sequel to a game I streamed ages ago, where some weird claymation-looking children went to an island and it's a choose-your-own-adventure. They also made a Red Riding Hood video that I put on YouTube, which is very funny. Or game, I should say, that I turned into a video. This is a sequel of sorts. I don't think you need to know anything about the previous one. The day was breaking. The sun's first rays were furtively creeping inside the room through the window. That I don't know if this dog is meant to be real, or if it's meant to be a teddy. I think it might be meant to be real, which is scary. Also, you have some sort of horrible scare. It's like, I watched Poor Things recently, and there's a lot of, like, weird body horror scares in that. It reminds me of that. What happened to your head? In the middle of the room, there was a large bed, where a pair of newlyweds were still having a sweet sleep. Woo! You let the dog watch? Furtively. I feel like this is going to be both poorly translated and flowery. Sun's rays perving on you, just creeping in and touching your little skin. On this beautiful Sunday morning, there was no need to wake up early and go God knows where. A large dog was also sleeping on one side of the bed. Man's best friend was also a married couple's favourite pet. Perverts. It seemed that this idyllic moment could last forever, when suddenly somebody rang the doorbell. The dog woke up with a start, not shown here, began barking loudly, jumped off the bed, and ran downstairs to the door. Henry, what's that noise? The wife asked, somewhat sleepily. This is basically ASMR, right? This counts.
It seems the devil bought somebody,
answered Henry with a yawn, getting out of bed and smoothing out his wrinkled pajamas.
I'll go check who's there. Maybe the postman couldn't sleep last night.
I don't know what the fuck you're saying. After those words, Henry went to the front door, stepping lightly. Oh my god, that is the ugliest dog that's ever been in a game. I don't mean to be too rude, but I imagine not a lot of effort went into this game. The dog, named Snoopy, was already waiting there. He was staring intently at the door, ready to tear any unwelcome guest into lots of tiny pieces. I doubt it. His head looks too big for his body, although his feet are fucking huge. So I guess that's how he keeps stable. Those are the most horrifying eyes I've ever seen. Henry leisurely went downstairs and opened the door. Can you imagine his surprise when instead of a sleepy postman, he saw a young blonde man around 22 years old, wearing glasses and sportswear. Oh, Christ, that you undersold the glasses. Doyle, my friend.
Doyle, my friend. So it's you who can't sleep at this early hour. I haven't seen you for ages. Still spending your days at the laboratory?
Exclaimed Henry. No wonder Charlie Brown has depression if this is what Snoopy looks like. When Snoopy recognized Doyle, he began to wag his tail. Hello, Henry. I don't know what voices to give these people. Like, the main character so far is kind of like a fucked Mr. Bean's like kind of voice. This guy can be... I don't know. I don't really have many voices. He can be American, because look at him. He can be an American boy. He's blonde, he's got silly glasses. Hey, Henry! Long time no see! It's been a month since your marriage to Irene, answered Doyle, shaking Henry's hand. Yes, I know. I'm the one that married her. I would know what is going on with this music. I might, just for my own sanity, turn it down very slightly. Volume 25%. I mean, I don't know why it gives me an option for music. I doubt there's going to be any other sound effects. There we go. I'm sorry I was coming so early, but I've just finished a project I was working on for the last 3 years and want you and Irene to be among the first to know about it. Reminds me of Frank Zappa's Jazz from Hell. Stated Doyle with pride.
So, what's the project?
Asked Henry with interest. It's gonna be a surprise for you both, so come and meet me in my laboratory at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. and I'll show you everything. Deal? Asked Doyle with hope in his voice. Ugh. Are you both wearing wigs? These don't look like real hair. Also, I have done some 3D modeling work in my time. I've done some Blender work. They need to sort out the lighting and render settings because it's very grainy.
Of course, Doyle. If you want to make a surprise for us, we'll be there.
All right then. I'm no longer gonna distract you from happy married life this morning. Purred Doyle, giving Henry a wink. Ugh. I'll go let you fuck your wife. Do I have red eyes like a guinea pig? That's apparently sportswear. The t-shirt with chemical bonds on it and a onesie. Yep.
See you later, innovator,
answered a grinning Henry while closing the door behind Doyle.
Prick.
After saying goodbye to his old friend, Henry returned to bed. Snoopy, who was following him, jumped on the bed and curled up in his usual spot. Who was there? Asked Irene in a sleepy voice.
It was our buddy Doyle. He said that he had prepared a surprise, and we'll be waiting for us later at his lab.
What the hell are those walls doing? I don't know, they're 3D, it scares me. Is that I think this is like a public domain image of a butterfly that they've Photoshop layered onto a wall texture. They've done like subtract color and the Photoshop settings onto a wall texture. Great! I like surprises. It's probably a very useful invention, said Irene with a sleepy smile. Do you know what a beautiful dream I had earlier? Asked Henry, putting his arm around his wife. Tell me! Asked Irene archly.
I dreamt that we were flying in an airship, only you and I with an endless horizon around us, and the clouds were whiter than white, and cheerful cupids and cherubs she's already asleep, were hovering above us as wonderful birds were singing songs to us about love pure and everlasting, whispered Henry into his wife's ear.
You are such a romantic. That's why I fell in love with you, Irene began to coo. And what happened next?
And next, Doyle came and woke us up. You can thank him later. Let's go back to sleep now,
summed up Henry, covering himself with a blanket. Look at that clock image. Oh, it looks like when you get an Alzheimer's patient to draw a clock face. In a few minutes, the sweet couple fell into a deep sleep, protected by their loyal dog, Snoopy. It was a bright, sunny day with birds singing coming from all sides. I love bird singing. The young couple was slowly walking along one of Mech City's streets. Yes, Mech City, while holding each other's hands. Both of you need to sort out your wardrobes because, number one, you both look about 12. Are you able to get married? Is the Mech City age of consent laws fucked? Is it like a libertarian Mech City? On this beautiful Sunday morning, the streets were empty and it seemed that life itself stopped at this corner of serenity and happiness. Henry, what do you think Doyle has actually prepared? Asked Irene.
I don't know. His expression was so satisfied. So maybe he's invented perpetuum mobile or something else as important.
You can just say perpetual motion, and also you should have a quotation mark there.
I guess we'll see everything for ourselves soon enough,
said Henry with confidence, smiling at Irene. Mansplaining. Oh God, I'm being boy-napped. Suddenly, the heavy sound of stomping boots came from behind. Somebody ran up to Henry and lifted him into the air like a rag doll. No, my twink body.
Aye, hello guys, how are you doing?
Exclaimed a muscular young man before putting a surprised Henry down gently on the pavement.
Hi, Conan. Hi, Conan. You caught me off guard. I nearly thought that we were struck by a hurricane,
said Henry with a smile. Are you playing Coming Home? I doubt that's allowed on Twitch, no. This is a game that feels like it could turn into cheap porn at any second, but I don't think it will.
Aye, hello Conan, it seems you were waiting for us,
said a grinning Irene. That was her voice, fuck.
Yes, you can see right through me, Irene. Doyle had boasted to me earlier that he would be showing off some new curiosity, and he also invited you, so I was waiting on a bench in the square. Let's go together to this big event. We shouldn't make this nerd wait.
After those words, the trio of young people went straight to the laboratory. The laboratory building was, in terms of size, something between a hangar and an observatory. It's got a giant metal ass on top. It had a rounded roof and lots of tiny windows. Thank you for that. The group went through the unlocked fence gate and approached an entrance door, which immediately opened by itself, probably equipped with a new sensor system.
I cannot get used to these technological widgets,
said Conan.
Come on,
laughed Henry.
Progress is unstoppable.
In the army, everything is so simple. One kick, one open door,
noted Conan philosophically. I did think about streaming Come Home, and having large black boxes over the characters the whole time. Am I mad, or is Dreya saying laboratory wrong, or have I been saying it wrong? I think I think it depends on where you're from. I've heard laboratory, I've heard laboratory, and I've heard laboratory. I think I condense it to a silly amount. Everything needs the golden mean. I don't know what the fuck that means. If robots and different devices will be doing everything for us, in the end humans will become lazy and dumb because they can't do even the simplest of tasks. At least that's what my father says.
Let's wait and see,
said Henry, finishing the discussion because he got annoyed. Laboratory? I'm doubting myself now. I say it the laboratory way. Meanwhile, Doyle was walking back and forth. Oh, new hideous drip from Doyle. I love it. Intently thinking something over. As soon as the company entered the premises, he joyfully exclaimed, "My friends, at last you're here!" The attention of the young people was immediately drawn to a massive object, hidden under a cover of textured fabric. Today, I present you the results of many years of work, which I'm sure will contribute to the development of Mech City science.
Come on, Doyle, get to the point,
Said Conan impatiently with his brows furrowed. Again, not shown here. Everyone is completely blank, except her, which I think we married a real doll. I'm just noticing it. She looks completely blank, and I don't think she's looked any other way so far. She hasn't even, smiled yet, really. I think she is a doll, and everybody's humoring us. We've married... like Lars and the Real Girl. We've married a doll. Patience, my friends. Now you'll see. With those words, Doyle came up to the mysterious object and with an abruptly showy and well-practiced movement of his hands, yanked away the cover. It's a wooden boat, of course. This is revolutionary. Ta-da! Solemnly exclaimed Doyle.
Is that a ship?
Asked a confused Conan. It's not a ship, it's a flying ship, proudly answered Doyle.
So, what do you intend to do with it?
It's obvious, exclaimed Doyle with wonderment. Explore! Explore the enormous, endless worlds around us. Can you ta-da solemnly? US, and then I do not know anything about these pronunciation guides. I've never figured them out. Not a very solemn utterance. Ta-da. Just imagine how little we know about all those mysterious islands, or even entire continents that float out there in the endless expanse. You live in a place called Mech City. You'd assume you had flight at this point.
I think our Doyle has gone nuts.
Whispered Conan to Henry. This is my most solemn sound alert.
This is probably a bit unsafe,
noted Henry, somewhat reasonably.
Do you remember our trip to Wild Island? Snoopy was almost sacrificed, and we barely survived by the skin of our teeth. And besides, fuck, wrong voice again. I'm doing an insulting parody of you. I just got married to Irene.
Doyle countered. Just think about it, Henry. What can be better than a romantic trip to an undiscovered island where we get eaten by goblins?
So cute, Dad.
Mingin, it's fucking Mingin. A chance to dive into the ocean and new events and emotions, let alone the contribution to the science of Mech City. Yes, Henry, Irene smiled, showing a deep interest. Mingin, why don't we actually all go together on a journey somewhere? I would say this will at least change up our daily routine. I'm tired of sitting at home with you, you boring cunt. Henry thoughtfully scratched the back of his head.
Doyle, what about safety precautions? Is your ship reliable? I wouldn't want to fall into a chasm in it.
Don't worry, I've already thought everything through. This ship can safely carry a 4-member crew plus a payload. What a bomb! What about Snoopy? I'm so sorry for these accents.
We'll have to leave him here in Mech City,
answered Henry.
I'm afraid he'll be a burden to all of us. Conan, what do you think?
What the fuck? He's a tiny dog.
If you're not afraid to go, then neither am I, with bells on. All the more, I won't let you go there alone. You won't make it without me,
stated Conan categorically, puffing out his chest for emphasis. Slut. It's settled then! Yow! Contentedly exclaimed Doyle. Every adjective is wrong. I'll need 1 more week to prepare everything, and you guys can contentedly exclaimed. I'm sorry. And you guys can prepare your backpacks. If you like, my dad can look after Snoopy while we're away. That sounds reasonable. Fuck, has anyone ever been dressed worse than this man? Thanks, Doyle. It's very nice of you to take that into consideration, answered Henry. After that, all the friends bid farewell to one another for the next week. He dresses like if you fed, one of the Top Gear guys acid for the first time. He's absolutely hideous. A week passed by like a day packed with cares and fussing before the long journey. What? At the specified hour, Henry and Irene returned to the laboratory. Step, Henry, I'm stuck. Henry and Irene turned to the laboratory and found busy Doyle, who was looking for something under a workbench.
Doyle, my friend, have you lost something?
Asked Henry. Yes, I dropped my lucky ladder. Do you remember how we nearly scared those Wild Island savages to death? It's appropriate that I'm American.
You bet,
answered Henry.
I wouldn't ever forget that. They ran like crazy.
And where's Conan? I think he'll be here soon.
He lives by army regulations, you know, punctuality and so on.
Is he actually in the army, or is he just like cosplaying like the guy from Big Lebowski? Oh my god, he's a survivalist. Oh no. As if on command, 1 minute later, Conan appeared on the threshold, fully equipped and with a smile on his face.
Here I am. No need for flowers. Is everybody ready for the trip?
Thank you. Dad, welcome in. He's a science boy, not a fashion boy.
Of course, answered Henry. We've all been preparing for the past week. Let's check out what everyone is carrying so as not to have all the same stuff.
It's probably good to have multiple, like, knives, for instance, or lighters.
Irene and I have 2 blankets, a few provisions, a spar glass, and a machete. And what are you
taking, Conan? Asked Irene with interest. I hope she dies first because of the voice I've given her.
I took my new multiple charge shotgun. It's the latest design in Mech City gunsmiths. I'm also taking a couple of knives, dry rations for a week, a rope with climbing irons, extra ammunition, a water bottle and first aid kit.
This does actually all seem sensible. Is that a fucking drum magazine on a shotgun?
Well done, Conan. You've stocked up nicely,
praised Henry, and he sort of purrs and like wiggles his ears.
And now, Doyle, what you have?
I'll show you, answered Doyle, leading his friends to the workbench. This is my father's new invention, the flame breather. Oh god, his dad is Elon Musk. It explains everything. You can scare off wild animals with it. It works using a special spirit mixture, which you can also drink and use to cleanse wounds. We're gonna go blind. That's
a very handy device for an expedition,
agreed Conan. I'm also taking some food, a pot to cook with, and my ladder.
What the hell is the lighter for when you have a flame breather?
Astonished Conan asked, interrupting Doyle. And the ladder, my friends, is just for luck. I hate every one of these people.
You can never have too much luck, nodded Henry.
And what is that?
Asked Conan, pointing at a strange-looking framework which stood by the workbench. Oh, this is just my power suit! Of course you have a power suit. Like you're in fucking Aliens. I analysed our trip to the Wild Island and came to the conclusion that I need to increase my physical strength. So we designed this suit with my dad. I'll explain how it works later, answered Doyle while putting it on. Is that your dad? The one who looks like he's a 21-year-old man cosplaying as Einstein for Halloween? Doyle's father, Nicholas Swift, entered the laboratory. Of course they did. I don't know what voice to give him. I just stunlocked myself. Like maybe, I don't know, Kermit? I'm out of voices.
Hello, guys. I see everyone's here.
Hi, Mr. Swift, answered the young people all in unison.
Snoopy, you've grown so big, exclaimed Mr. Swift, squatting down. Come here and I'll pet you.
Snoopy happily complied. Can you just take my dog? We don't like him, apparently. He could eat a monster. Apparently he was going to tear people limb from limb earlier. After putting his power suit on, Doyle opened his back door. Now, we'll fill the balloon with hot air and we're good to go. The ship is ready in the backyard. Doyle, oh god, he looks like such a fucking prick. Is that denim? Are these denim straps? Doyle boarded the ship and turned his burner on. Hot air slowly began to fill up the balloon. You've invented a hot air balloon, not even like a cool mech ship. All aboard, commanded Doyle. The crew ascended the ladder, and shortly afterwards the ship begins to gain altitude. Bye!
Good luck, kids.
Shouted Nicholas Swift, waving his hand.
Make a lot of discoveries.
Oh, the adventure has begun. I just got a little achievement again. Oh God, what the fuck are we? Nice weather today, noted Doyle. The sky's bright and the wind's blowing in the right direction. We'll fly to the northeast. The ship was gaining altitude, and soon only clouds could be seen around it. Irene smiled and pointed a finger at a cloud drifting in the distance. Look, Henry! That cloud looks like a small horsey! And that cloud looks like our drill sergeant!
Big, fat, and grim, just like him. Ha ha ha!
Conan, you're such a humorist.
What the fuck is going on?
I cannot help it,
answered Conan, still laughing. According to my calculations, we should reach another island in 3 hours. In the meantime, you can just relax and enjoy the flight. Is this how you power it? Like the propellers? Do you have to pedal the fucking boat? Time flew by as friendly conversation continued. In my headcanon, none of us can stand each other. It's just that we're the only 4 people of our age on the fucking island. No safety rail or anything. What the fuck are we? Discoveries without a camera, notebook, anything? Good luck with that. Henry! Conan! Doyle called out with a sense of urgency. Come here! Look at the compass! The wind has changed direction and now we're off course! We need to fix this urgently! I'm noticing, very pointedly, he did not mention Irene, which either feeds into my theory that she is a real doll that everybody is humouring Henry with, or he's a sexist. Oh, God.
And how can we do that?
Asked the lads. Piece of cake, answered Doyle. The ship is equipped with 2 propellers and a steering wheel. You just need to get the propellers rotating by pedaling the bicycles. Soon we'll be back on course, said Doyle, pointing at 2 bicycles by the steering wheel.
That's just perfect,
muttered Conan while climbing onto one of the bikes.
Doyle, how long should we ride in?
Asked Henry, climbing aboard the other. Not long, just a little bit, but I'll tell you when you can stop, and I'll be busy steering. After 50 solid minutes of pedaling, she's literally just propped in a chair at the front. Nobody's talking to her. She isn't interacting with anybody. Henry had broken into a well-earned sweat, and beads of perspiration appeared on Conan's forehead. 50 minutes of pedaling is a lot. Am I wearing chainmail, by the way?
Hey, Doyle! Doyle! Don't you want us to push these pedals yourself for a little bit? My legs are all tired.
I can't, Henry. Can't do it. The bicycle will break under the weight of my suit.
Then take the fucking suit off, you cunt.
And what if some less than optimum situation occurs? It takes a lot of time to put this on and off.
Hey, Henry, do you want an anecdote? Then listen up. The scientists from the neighboring town Loserville launched a rocket into space, but unfortunately the rocket crashed. And the casualties were 2 cosmonauts and 300 stalkers,
said Conan, bursting out laughing. I have no idea what the fuck that joke meant. Why are you laughing? What's happening? Yeah, answered Henry.
I feel just like a stoker myself.
Well done, guys. Time for a break. I think we've found the proper airstream. Oh, she's back. Hey, guys! Irene suddenly called out to the men while pointing into the distance. Look, there's a bird over there! Henry took the spyglass out of its case and began to look in the direction that Irene was pointing.
Indeed, it's some kind of large bird. Congrats, Doyle. You can look at the first unstudied specimen of the local fauna,
said Henry, passing the spyglass over. Is that a bird? I guess it is a bird. It's got kind of weird, fucked up bat wings. It's kind of cute. Doyle eagerly grabbed the device and began to observe. Oh, look! It's a gobbo! Irene began to wave her hands. There's an entire flock of them, and they're flying right towards us.
Conan, stay sharp,
said Henry.
Those birds might be aggressive. Your shotgun might come in handy.
Suddenly, something whizzed by Henry's ear and hit the deck. It was an arrow.
Watch out!
Shouted Conan as he began to shoot in all directions.
We're under attack!
Right then, a few loud claps rang out, and the airship began to lose altitude, leaning sharply to one side.
Those bastards are shooting at our balloon!
Suddenly, Irene let out a loud scream. When Henry and Conan turned around, they saw that mysterious bird riders had swooped down and were carrying her away.
Conan, don't shoot! Irene will get hit!
Prepare for emergency landing! I see land below us! Hold tight! As the airship struck its sudden landing zone, there was a loud, dull thud, followed by silence. This is a cinematic masterpiece. It's pretty good. Why are they landing if she's flying away? I don't know. Surely he's an army boy with cowboy boots. Surely he could, hit a wing and bring her down. When Henry came to his senses, he felt someone shaking him.
Henry, are you okay?
Asked Conan, helping his comrade to his feet.
Is everyone all right?
I think so. It appears we crash-landed upon some rocks. Doyle, are you alive down there?
Oh, what a rough landing! I thought we were done for, answered Doyle.
We must go look for Irene. God knows what those savages will do to her. Everything will be all right. We'll turn all the flora and fauna on this island upside down, but we will find her. You have my word, said Conan, putting his arm on Henry's shoulder. I think I broke my favourite glasses, Doyle wailed, holding a crushed eyeglass casing with shattered lenses. Do not worry, Doyle. When we get back to Mac City, I'll buy you a telescope,
said Conan, attempting to cheer him up. What an odd mix of guys on this boat. Why are they friends?
Doyle, give me the rope ladder. We need to get down. Thank God it's not a long drop.
After climbing down from the crashed ship, the travellers discovered a large cave at the base of the rock. Lots of bones and skulls of different shapes and sizes were scattered all around. What's in there, Henry? Cautiously asked Doyle.
I think there's nobody inside, but let's take a closer look.
There's so many bones. There's a giant turtle shell you're walking past. And that one, hang on, I'm turning off my camera for a second, just to show you this. That one is full of fucking meat. That one's clearly fresh. It's bright red inside. You're fucked. Oh, what the fuck just happened? Choose Conan's skill. Oh boy. Okay. Stealth or strength? Stealth or strength? Conan's a strength boy, right? They bonded because they're the only ones with fashion sense in town. Nobody else seems to understand. I think probably... I think he seems like a strong old boy, although he is wearing the camo gear. He's an army boy. I think he's like a big lunkhead. I'm going to give him strength. Choose Doyle's skill. Technician, obviously. I think it's going to be technician, because he's wearing the fucking power armor. After entering the cave, the three friends find an unusually large egg. Ooh, some sort of tenga.
Oh, look, an egg,
asked Conan. Let's take it with us, proposed Doyle. No matter what hatches from it, I think it'll be a great addition to our Mech City Zoo. Have none of you seen Jurassic Park 2?
Somehow I don't like this idea,
Henry said, knitting his brows.
What do you think, Conan?
Of course, let's take it. We can always make an omelette from it.
After putting the egg inside the backpack, the three friends continue walking away. Oh, look, an egg. Henry has no skill. Henry's pointless.
I saw the bird riding savages.
Stop calling them that. This is the same as the first game.
I suppose their village is on the other side.
Waving his hand at some small insect buzzing around.
The only thing is, what route do we take?
Ooh, okay. Let's save here. Save in save slot 1. Through the swamp or through the dark forest? Strength and technician? Maybe swamp. Maybe your power armor will get you through the water. You've got like little backwards knees now, like a dog. This one, swamp.
We'd better go through the swamp. The dark forest gives me the creeps.
Right, no predator can sneak up on us in the open. Let's move. We have no time to lose. In half an hour we will reach it. Doyle, I was wondering, what sort of fuel does your suit use?
Come. It's powered by electricity, said Doyle. In laboratory conditions, I power it up from the lab's wind generator, and in field conditions it uses solar panels. If there's no sunlight, the accumulator is good for an hour of autonomous work. So in the dark forest, he might have lost power. Walking for... That's quite a bulge you have, by the way, Doyle. But aside from that, he might have lost power and he'd be all weaky and like, oh, I'm just a nerd in my glasses. Good choice.
So without the sun, your suit is just a piece of junk, wondered Conan.
Yeah, pretty much. Henry became angry. The labyrinth tights look.
Then why didn't you, Mr. Lousy...
Sorry, I'm melding the accents.
Then why didn't you, Mr. Lousy Inventor, install electric propellers on your ship so Conan and I didn't have to ride those fucking bikes? My legs are fucking shaking.
Sorry, guys, I never thought of that. When the friends reached the swamp, they stopped and looked around carefully.
The soil is very marshy here, said Henry. We need to make swamp walkers, because we won't get far without them. Conan, let's start cutting some reeds. Doyle, you'll be doing the wicker work.
What the fuck are swamp walkers? The electric suit will be fine in a watery swamp? I thought he could, churn through it because he's got electric legs.
It's better to waste
a day, but then reach the goal for 5 minutes.
I don't know what that means. Or reach the goal, basically, added Henry philosophically. What? After a few hours of work, 3 pairs of swamp walkers were ready. And now, Doyle, said Henry,
take off your suit. It's too heavy and you'll sink in it.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Right. Don't take off the suit. You might need it if goblins come. Don't be silly, said Henry. Don't be silly, Henry, said Doyle with a hint of resentment. It's like my second pair of hands. You'll soon see how I'll fly in it. After those words, he bravely started his walk through the marsh. At first, his steps plunged him ankle-deep in the muck, but after a few meters, he was stuck knee-deep in the quagmire and slowly began to submerge. Fuck. Guys, I'm sinking! Henry and Conan rushed to help their friend. Hold on, we're coming! Grab our hands! Sinking even deeper into the muck, Doyle was now stuck up to his neck, but kept on floundering. While trying to pull Doyle out, Conan and Henry also got themselves stuck and sinking, so there was no chance for anyone left to get out alive. Soon the swamp surface became still, and only small air bubbles were left, before eventually vanishing entirely. Your quest has ended here. I'm gonna try again. Okay, strength, technician. To skip ahead, that's all fine. Let's go through the swamp again, but make him take it off. I think that's okay, right? We were doing well up until that point. Right, take off your fucking silly suit. It's not as good as I thought it was. You know, Henry, you're probably right. I wouldn't want to go to the bottom of this wonderful swamp, agreed Doyle as he began to take the suit off. A few minutes later, the 3 travellers went forth. With silly little sandals, little flip-flops. Or thongs if you're an Australian. Thick fog was spreading all around, and it was hard to see further than 20 feet in any direction. Soon the sun dipped below the horizon and began to get dark. Doyle's attention was drawn to the large flowers of unusual shape, which grew abundantly around the area. Look, guys, what interesting flowers! It would be nice to stop and make a drawing. Doyle pointed his finger at the unknown flora. Don't fuck the flower, I'm just begging you, okay? Don't be like Prometheus, where they try to, fuck or eat everything and then die because of it. Oh. Because if you try and put your genitals in that, those little spiky things will go stunk and chop it off, and you'll bleed to death.
You do that some other time.
groused Henry.
After rescuing Irene, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Their friendship isn't going to survive this.
Lads, I think it's time to halt here. Moving through the swamp in pitch darkness is too dangerous.
The friends found a dry spot nearby and after a light supper began to sleep.
There's no need to build a shelter from branches, so we'll just cover ourselves with this blanket.
We're going to lie in a fucking swamp all together. You're... Oh, the little froggles! Ah! They're going to eat us whole, aren't they? Or eat our whole.
Hey Doyle,
Whispered Conan in a snarky voice.
cover your heels well, or a saber-toothed wolf will come and drag you into his den.
Very funny, grumbled Doyle while making himself comfortable. The sound of frogs croaking was coming from all sides. Yeah, they're literally right next to you. They've all gathered to watch the freaks.
Maybe they'll make love, Ribbit. Henry, are you asleep?
You bet your ass I'm not. I have a feeling that frogs and toads of all hues from the whole swamp have gathered here to make a concert especially for us.
I know what to do, said Conan. You need to curl up your handkerchief, moisten it with your saliva,
Where the fuck is this going?
and make earplugs.
Soon our travellers fell into a deep slumber. Ew. Yes, ew, exactly. Oh no! A frog's gonna jump into that stinking hole! Oh Jesus, there's a knock at my door. Hang on, I'll be back in just a second. I'm back. It's fine. It was a package delivery, as the break screen just said. I ordered as a birthday treat, I ordered myself a tiny footstool for the armchair that's in my office. So I have that now. A peculiar hissing sounded in the night, the numerous flowers around the sleeping wayfarers. I left for 3 minutes and you're having a threesome. You lied, this is come home. They began to erupt strange spores into the air. Oh no, lethal spores. That's ominous as an achievement to get.
What happened? I cannot breathe. My face is burning,
Screamed Conan suddenly, jumping to his feet. Doyle and Henry were lying on the ground, writhing in pain from convulsive fits. Conan tried to make a wet dressing for his face, but his hands wouldn't obey, just spitting on his own hands and smearing himself. Soon afterwards, he fell unconscious. Your quest is ended here. Fantastic work! Let's not go into the fucking swamp! The swamp is death, apparently. Let's go to the dark forest. Let's go through the forest, proposed Henry. The swamp doesn't really look safe. Shocking, fucking Conan. The lads all agreed to this proposal and went through the forest. His power suit's gonna run out, and we're gonna get fucking mauled by gobos.
We're getting close, said Henry. Conan, keep your shotgun ready. Who knows what strange animals live in there?
Yes, sir,
jokingly replied Conan. The three friends were walking past dead trees. They don't look dead. Crooked branches were creaking and swinging in the wind. There was neither sight nor sound of birds or animals, only the buzzing of some insects swarming in the grass.
Doyle, can you tell from a scientific point of view why these trees died?
Oh, we didn't give him fucking herbalism. We gave him technician like a nerd, because he's a nerd. It's hard to tell, Doyle began bloviating. I'd need to do a detailed analysis of bark, wood and the root system. Visual inspection is not enough to give a well-defined answer. Beat him to death with his own suit. Maybe there was an invasion of giant killer moles who ate their roots. That's possible. On the other hand, this could be some fungus or a disease whose pathogenic agent was brought here by a fallen meteorite. Or maybe even groundwater changed its direction and these trees died from drought. Oh, glad we went on that tangent.
Hey, Henry, our nerd can babble about this stuff all day long. Now he'll be muttering about these trees non-stop. Distract him with another question.
Doyle, my friend, are you by chance hungry? The sun is setting, we need to stop for a rest.
Great idea, Henry. He gladly began to take his power suit off, forgetting about the trees. You were so insistent before about not taking it off.
Let's start a fire and build a shelter out of branches.
Oh, so in the fucking swamp, you asked him. So in the fucking swamp, they just lay down on the ground under a blanket. In the nice dry forest, they have to build a shelter. When everything was ready, the friends sat by the fire to have supper.
Doyle, give me your pot. Now we'll cook some fine soldier porridge.
That is absolutely a euphemism for cum. Soldier porridge?
Let me feed you some soldier porridge. Henry, you said you had some beef jerky?
Henry nodded and removed it from the backpack.
Give it to me then. I have ready-made pearl barley. We just need to combine it and it'll be yummy.
More like jerkin beef.
Guys, look, there's some weird pear-shaped fruits on that tree.
Don't eat the fruits. Don't fuck the fruits. Don't lick them. Don't even look at them. Don't look at those fruits.
How can dead trees have fruits?
Astonished Conan. Right, agreed Henry.
That's another puzzle.
Pearl barley, fucking give over. Wow, guys, my head started spinning so suddenly, said a weak-voiced Doyle. It's because of all the cum you've been drinking. His pals were shocked when they looked at him. There was a large animal sitting on his back, sucking blood from his neck. I didn't even notice. Why are you so calm?
Shit! What is that? Henry, grab your machete!
Henry unsheathed his weapon and whacked the unwelcome guest with its dull edge so as not to injure Doyle. The strike was strong enough to break the creature's spine.
I think we have a vampire bat here,
summed up Conan after lifting the dead creature by its wings.
Doyle, how are you, pal?
All right, I guess.
Now, I'll put an adhesive plaster on your neck to stop the bleeding,
said Henry, reaching into his backpack.
Doyle, you were bitten by a fucking vampire rat,
said Conan in a frightening voice.
Soon you will turn into a vampire rat yourself.
Conan, began Doyle, before I turn, would you like if I bit you and you turn into a four-eyed blonde scientist? Fuck me. I think we should break his legs and leave him here. Don't even kill him quick.
You keep away from me.
Conan made a wry face when he imagined this scene. A wry face? As if you're kind of into it?
Guys, what are we going to do?
Asked Henry seriously.
Now it's clear that those aren't fruits hanging on the trees, but these damn vampire rats.
Why are you calling them vampire rats when you called them a bat earlier? Why are you all saying rat now? Ask Doyle or go to sleep. I guess we'll save the fucking game. Going to sleep can't be the right answer, but Doyle is such an idiot. I'm gonna say go to sleep.
There's nothing we can do. We'll have to stay here. Going through the forest in the dark simply isn't an option. It's just too dangerous. Let's try to seal up the entrance to our shelter to keep these bastards away.
Your shelter is open-faced. The friends sealed up the entrance to the shelter and went to sleep. Suddenly, something fell on the roof. Then seconds later, the sounds of falling objects smacking down on the shelter again and again made the lads realize they were in danger.
Henry, these beasts want our blood. They won't get it without a fight.
You've got a shotgun. There was a rustle of branches that replaced the falling. Flying budsuckers began to crawl inside the shelter. Conan was the first who jumped out and started shooting at the flying enemies. Then out came Doyle and Henry, who by this time were covered in them. Screaming horribly, Doyle ran into the forest trying to shake them off. Henry grabbed the machete, but his hands wouldn't obey. He made a few desperate swings before falling to his knees powerless. Covered by enemies from head to toe, only Conan kept fighting, but the odds were not in his favour. Your quest ends here. We've been eaten by bats. Let's ask Doyle what to do. He's the only one who has a brain. Oh my Christ, look how bad that looks. Guys, I know what sort of creatures these are, began Doyle in a serious tone. I read in a scientific magazine that there's a species of giant rat that drinks blood and looks for prey by vibrations of a certain frequency. To make ourselves invisible to them, we need to create some sort of infetorance. What?
Sorry, Doyle.
Why didn't you say this? Like, going to sleep doesn't mean we instantly pass out. You could have chirped up with this at any point. Were you like, oh, they didn't ask me directly, so I'm not going to say. A simple smoke screen will do just fine. There's a lot of grass and fallen leaves. We'll build a few fires around the shelter and the bats won't find us through the smoke. Well, it's worth a shot. After making 3 smoking fires, the friends went to sleep.
Doyle, will your plan work?
Quiet, said Doyle seriously. Try not to even move so that the bats won't hear you. Oh, they're so sweet looking and stupid. Oh, I love the looping ambient noise. Inside the shelter, the friends could hear the flapping of wings away from the campsite. The bats were flying around in the forest looking for prey elsewhere. Soon the wayfarers fell asleep. Yay! Live until morning is a genuine achievement. It was early morning. The 3 fires died out some time ago, and only small piles of ashes remained. Doyle was the first to wake up. Guys, come on. It's time to get up. Are you going to stay asleep or what? Oh, the little bats.
Doyle, since when did you become a rapper?
What? Muttered a half-awake Conan.
Yes, Conan, time is of the essence,
Henry agreed with Doyle as he crawled out of the shelter.
We need to leave this damn forest as soon as possible.
With those flying rats around?
No, they hunt only at night. When the guys packed up their gear, they moved on. In a few hours, the grim forest was behind them.
Henry, take out your spyglass and see what lies ahead.
Henry began to study the horizon.
Guys, I've got good news and I've got bad news.
Start with the good news.
The good news is that there's a river ahead of us which we can cross on a raft. The bad news is that the river is full of crocodiles.
Well, I think crocodiles are not the biggest problem,
bravely said Conan.
Let's go to that bamboo grove nearby.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? After their meal, the young men started building a raft. Conan cut the bamboo, Doyle was dragging it to the bank, and Henry was binding everything together. In a few hours, the raft was ready. No crocos.
I think it looks nice,
Henry said as he admired the raft.
Doyle, you and your suit grab it from one side, and Conan and I will grab it from the other.
When the raft was in the water, the 3 friends started loading their belongings.
Doyle, take off your suit. If you fall in the water, you'll hit the bottom like a brick.
I think you're right. It's not even giving me a choice after Swampgate. The suit was loaded on the raft. That's gone. That's instantly gone. A croco's gonna eat that in a second. They used bamboo poles instead of oars to row.
Doyle, do you want to have a nice new pair of crocodile boots?
Asked Conan.
Look at that huge fucker on the opposite bank.
I'm afraid crocodiles don't wear boots, answered Doyle indifferently. Smack him across the face really hard.
Well, somebody still has a sense of humor. Just don't put your hands or legs into the water, or the local crocodiles will definitely have new boots.
I don't think that metaphor works, Conan. A large group of crocodiles who were lying on the opposite bank hastily rushed into the water, like they were scared of something. What's happened to What's-Her-Face? She got kidnapped by flying goblins. That's not a joke.
Guys, did you hear that?
Conan picked up his ears.
No, nothing. What is it?
I thought I heard hippos.
Let's hope you misheard. Suddenly something made up. It's a hippo! Or something. Suddenly something made a powerful blow from underneath the raft, lifting it a few feet up into the air. "Mommy!" screamed Doyle while he was falling head over heels into the water. Henry and Conan managed to stay on the raft by grasping at its edge. Doyle's suit and flame breather fell into the water. Fuck off. When Doyle came back to the surface, he yelled loudly, "Get me out of here!" His two friends rushed to get their pal out. Once Doyle returned to the raft, he began to lament over his newly lost items. "My lovely power suit, it was so good! And the flame breather too!"
Be glad the crocodiles are now playing with your flame breather and not with you.
The friends continued and soon reached the opposite bank. Well, that's fucked me up. What could I have done differently there? I genuinely don't know. We need to drag the boat out of the water to a safe spot. We might need it on our way back. After passing through the bamboo grove, the trio reached the foot of the mountain ridge.
Guys,
Said Henry.
we need to cross these mountains. There are some tunnels we can use as an alternate path. I don't know who dug them, but I have a feeling we can use them, or we can go up these mountains. I feel like this hole was made for me.
Oh, Christ. Okay, save again. Go through the mountains or through the tunnels? Tunnels. Fuck it, why not? Tunnels. Go into the spooky tunnels.
We'd better go through the tunnels.
Suggested Conan.
We can do that.
After crafting makeshift torches, the wayfarers enter the darkness of the twisting corridors. Did any of you bring, actual electric torches? Like a modern torch? A flashlight? Doyle is a liability now that they're suitless. He is useless now. The tunnels were spacious, and the friends could walk without bending down. "These corridors are so wide," said Henry, looking around. More vampire rats in there, I reckon. Probably. Hello, barkeep.
Doyle, do you think they were made by nature, or were they dug by somebody?
Well, from the scientific point of view, both options could be true. To say certainly whether these tunnels were made by machines or not, I'd need some instruments from my laboratory. I hate you so much, Doyle.
Blah, 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 here we go again,
muttered Conan, rolling his eyes. Doyle kept pontificating about the caves until the three friends bumped into their first obstacle. What a huge fucking backpack you have, by the way.
Looks like we have to climb here. I think it's not high. You should follow me.
After those words, Conan began climbing up, Doyle and Henry following him.
I think we have a precipice here,
said Conan, looking into the abyss. Maybe we should go back, anxiously suggested Doyle.
What are you talking about? It's probably not so deep.
Let's check that out,
said Henry, as he picked up threw a stone into the abyss. The stone disappeared into the darkness, making no noise. The quiet of the dungeon was only disturbed by the crackle of the trio's torches.
Okay, maybe it is a little deeper, but I know how we can make it across. Over there, on the edge, there are some lumps.
Love cave lumps. Those are stalagmites, noted Doyle.
Whatever. Now I'll lasso one of them and you guys hold the end of the rope.
Just finished a D&D session. This is kind of D&D. If D&D was made by an idiot. Once Conan had hooked onto one of the stones, he started climbing. In the blink of an eye, he was on the other side.
Henry, you're next. And Doyle, just wrap the rope around your arm for a better grip.
Inspired by Conan's example, Henry confidently started across the abyss. Suddenly there was a loud cracking sound. The stalagmite began to break! Conan reacted in time and grabbed the rope at the very last minute. Many hours of army training had helped to save his friend's life. I think that's the strength. I think that's because we gave him the strength attribute at the very start instead of stealth. I think if we hadn't given him strong boy powers, he would have just let us slip into the abyss.
Hold on, buddy,
shouted Conan, tightly holding the rope.
I'll pull you up.
Henry kept climbing. As soon as he reached the edge, Conan grabbed him by the collar and pulled him up.
Thanks, friend. A little bit more and I'd be done for,
said Henry. Guys, are you all right down there? Scared Doyle shouted from the other edge. Yeah, you might be lost. And do we really care?
We're cool, Doyle. Now it's your turn. Wrap the rope around yourself and we'll pull you out. Just make a good knot.
You're fucked. Conan, if you drop me, I'll be coming to you in your nightmares.
1, 2, 3, go.
Putting his legs forward, Doyle jumped and his pals quickly pulled him up. Okay, you can tie a knot. Ooh, look at your... Without slicked back, you look like you're in a boy band in the 90s. Ooh, look how sexy Doyle's getting. Sexy Doyle. New character unlocked. New skin. Doyle, what happened to your hair? Asked Henry, looking at Doyle with astonishment. Nothing, answered Doyle while slicking his hair back into his more normal shape. Let's go, there's nothing interesting around here. No, we want sexy Doyle back. Oh, he's fucked again, you ruined it. Give me back sexy Doyle. The remaining path up to the surface was overcome without any difficulties, because the tunnel leading up was straight as an arrow. Yay, that worked. When lads finally exited the cave, they inhaled clean and fresh air. When lads exited the cave. It smells so good here, said Henry, breathing deeply. There are probably some flowers growing near. Henry, let's see where to go next. After climbing one of the giant rocks, which were everywhere, Henry took out the spyglass and began studying the surroundings. I see a palisade. That's probably the savages' camp. We can approach from the herb field or from the plain. Oh, Jesus. Well, we're through. Let's save again. Go through the fields, the hills, or the forest. The field? Let's go through the field, suggested Doyle. I'd like to see some more local flora. We didn't give you the herbology thing. We gave you the technician skill, and then you lost all of your fucking technological prowess by dumping them in the fucking Croco River. So you're useless to us right now. I have nothing against that, agreed Henry, and the friends went through the meadows. So many flowers out here. You're ruined. You're ruined. Looking around and admiring the scenery. I think that pleasant aroma was coming from here.
Watch your step, guys. Snakes can hide in the grass.
And what is this plant? When he saw a patch of large, gorgeous flowers. Forgetting about Conan's warning, he went to take a closer look. It is Prometheus again. Ow! Suddenly howled Doyle.
What happened?
A snake bit me! It was so big! Where is it then? I don't know, it probably crawled away. What should we do? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we need to cut the wound and suck out the venom. No! That isn't real, Conan! That's a joke!
There's no time to waste. Doyle, roll up your trouser leg. Henry, hold Doyle tight.
You just want to suck on Doyle. After making a small incision, Conan sucked out the venom-tainted blood from the cut, stopping only to spit every few seconds.
Here we go, now you'll be as good as new,
Conan encouraged Doyle while bandaging the wound. It wasn't even venomous.
Let's go, the savages' camp isn't that far away.
Doyle nodded. Can you fix your hair? The three friends approached the camp and hid in the tall grass. Well, any ideas? How should we set Irene free?
I suggest we storm the place, proposed Conan. We rush inside through the main gate and put everybody face down in the dirt.
Oh, that's a huge butterfly. That's very pretty. What if there are lots of them?
I think there's nothing my shotgun cannot handle,
replied Conan with confidence, stroking his weapon. Well, if you're so sure, then lead the way. When they got close enough to rush the camp, Conan jumped out from the tall grass, letting out a horrific roar. Rushed towards the sole guardian at the gate. Doyle and Henry were right behind him. The now startled savage. It's a fucking goblin, and I don't know why you won't say it. Look at the freak. The now startled savage tried to stab Conan with his spear, but he skillfully parried the native's lunge and made a devastating blow to the head with the butt of his shotgun. The native fell to the ground unconscious.
Doyle, grab his spear.
Now they're in deep trouble, enthusiastically said Doyle, holding the spear tightly. Like a hurricane, the friends rushed inside the camp, Conan blasting his shotgun into the air, intending to scare them, but it only drew their attention, and a dozen new enemies jumped out of the huts. The fighting started. One of the natives ran up to Conan from behind and hit him on the head with a club. Totally outnumbered, Doyle and Henry could not withstand the enemy's pressure. As a result, they were captured and tied up. Oh, for fuck's sake. What's wrong with you freaks? You have a gun! You could so easily have done this. When Conan began to come to it, you have a bandolier around your thigh. You have so much ammo, you have a gun. You could have picked them off from outside if you really wanted to. When Conan began to come to his senses, he slowly opened his eyes. He was tied to a pole together with Henry. Now the porn can start.
Where are we? What is going on?
The Arnold Schwarzenegger accent is getting worse and worse. This is what Austrians sound like.
Where are we? What is going on? Shit, my head is killing me.
Quietly hissed Conan.
My friend, you finally recovered, replied Henry. I guess your plan has turned to failure. They tied us up and now they're cooking Doyle for dinner.
Cooking? What dinner?
Asked Conan.
Gosh, man, I guess they really hit you hard on the head. Look over there,
said Henry, swinging his head to one side. Yes! This was the screenshot. I don't know how we were going to get there. This is the screenshot that made me download the game. There was a large cauldron on the fire in the middle of the camp, and a naked Doyle was sitting in it. It is gonna turn into porn, isn't it? We're gonna see some goblin hog, and then some gobbling of hog. Please don't eat me! I'm not tasty! Lamented the young scholar. Is the vortex still there?
Skilly, skilly,
the natives were saying in their unknown language, gradually slicing assorted vegetables and throwing them into the cauldron. And what's that beast? I said, I don't know. Said an astonished Conan, looking at a giant humanoid creature sitting on a stone throne.
I think it's their leader, or some sort of deity? I don't know.
Suddenly, Irene! Yay! Oh, Christ, what have they done to you? Why are you dressed like that? You had clothes already. Dressed up in pelts with a tray full of fruits. When she saw that Conan and Henry had come to their senses, she rushed towards them, but two natives blocked her way. Irene, you're alive! Oh, are you crying black tears? What the fuck is wrong with these people? Number one, you've got the worst side parting I've ever seen. It's even worse now in captivity. And number two, what the fuck are you crying? Because it doesn't look like you're wearing eyeliner. Maybe wearing eyeliner? He's just wearing lots of mascara. Those are prison tattoos.
I'm so happy you're okay,
he said with tears in his eyes. Irene started crying. Henry, what are they going to do to you? I'm too scared to imagine.
I'm sorry, my love, but I failed you. We tried to rescue you, but we became prey ourselves,
Henry called out through the tears. Doyle's screams sounded again. Not the potatoes! Guys, the water's getting hot. A little bit more and I'm gonna start boiling. I'm too young to die.
Hey Doyle, if we are destined to die here, then die with dignity, like a man, not a slobbering nerd or a woman.
Easy for you to say.
Don't worry, our turn will come soon enough,
calmly replied Conan. Suddenly, a horrible roar sounded from behind the palisade. The savage camp was stirred up by this sudden new interruption, the natives running back and forth confused.
What's going on?
Asked Henry.
We'll see,
coolly replied Conan. A second later, a giant dragon-like creature climbed over the fence and immediately started eating natives and smashing everything around.
I think that's the owner of the egg we took from the cave earlier.
Conan spoke out his guess with a smirk.
I don't know how it found us, but it looks really pissed.
It is Jurassic Park 2. The giant humanoid, sitting on the throne, grabbed a large club and letting out a wild roar, attacked the dragon. Taking advantage of the chaos... Oh my god, he's nude and boiled. Oh my fucking Christ. Taking advantage of the chaos around him, a naked Doyle jumped out from the cauldron. He grabbed the machete, which was lying in the pile of friends' belongings, cut the ropes and freed his comrades. This is a bad place to go, like that this is something you'd be concerned about. But, at least, considering the heat, he'll probably look more impressive because of the hot water. You know, it's not like he's getting out of a cold pool and he'll be embarrassed, but, you know, like, oh, my friends are gonna think I'm shrunken. Like, he'll look a bit more impressive than he otherwise might. So that's good for him.
Well done, Doyle, complimented Conan, see? Let's grab Irene, our stuff, and get the hell out of here.
Chainmail Boy is looking straight into his ass. What a puckered hole.
Get some,
blurted out Conan, fiercely punching the face of a savage who tried to grab Irene and lock her inside with huts. Why isn't Irene helping? Even Doyle, with his nude, burned testicles, is doing something. He's like fucking wandering around punching people, I'm sure. He's at least holding something. What's Irene doing? What have I just switched on? Sorry for doing this.
Get some,
blurted out Conan, fiercely punching the face of a savage. Guys, I've got a great idea, said Irene, taking Henry by the hand. Follow me, I'll show you. She's been turned. I know she's been hypnotized by the gobos. She's now fully into this. She joined willingly. She's gonna lead us to death. Meanwhile, the savages rained down arrows and spears on the dragon, but the reptile's skin was too tough, and arrows would just bounce off like toothpicks. Please tell me we at least left the egg there so that fucker doesn't chase us. If Conan kept the egg, then he is more of an idiot than any of the rest of us. The chieftain tried to stun the beast with his club, but got a powerful blow by the dragon's tail instead, which threw him aside. The enraged beast kept wrecking everything in front of him. I feel like I didn't have much agency in this. I thought, did we have the choice to take the egg or not? I think we did. Look, guys, the savages keep their giant birds here, said Irene, leading her friends to a large cage which stood behind the camp. We'll use them to fly away. I saw how the natives piloted them. Taking these rods of skewered meat by the cage, and the birds will fly where you point it. There was no time to lose. Once our heroes mounted the birds, they immediately shot upwards. I hate Game Bird. I hate Game Bird. You're still nude. That they just remove and throw away your clothes. I hate Game Bird. I hate Game Bird, Doyle kept saying while riding his unknown bird. Now, I think up this high in the air, it will have shrunk. It is like a swimming pool. I don't know if this is the plot of a Seinfeld episode. The whole shrinkage thing. If you get out of a warm pool and then hit the cold air, it basically raisinifies. And it's very embarrassing. So I imagine he's feeling a bit like, can we get home now?
Hey Doyle,
Conan shouted to him.
You just don't know how to cook it.
How did I end up riding this winged horror? We just saw. Why are you asking? While the four friends were flying to the crash site. There's our ship! Joyfully exclaimed Henry when he saw the aircraft. After a successful landing to the cave, the friends climbed up the rope ladder. The birds stayed behind, playing with the meat rods in front of the cage. Game, I know that English is not your first language, but you simply cannot say things like that. The birds look like Tenga warriors from Power Rangers. Irene,
did those savages treat you well?
Asked Henry. Henry, what are you asking? I just want to stare Henry in the face, right into his eyes, and say, what exactly are you asking?
Irene, are you soiled?
Not bad in general, replied Irene. They took and burned my clothes and gave me these pelts instead. They made me a servant to their chiefman and forced me to dance for him. Oh,
Now those green mugs will have a great time in the company of a large sharp-toothed fiend. Ha ha!
Said Conan, bursting into laughter.
Doyle, I guess you're a hard-boiled egghead now.
A little bit more and I would have become one. What about the balloon? How are we going to repair it? Oh, I can't fucking remember. We have Irene now, excitedly exclaimed Henry.
She can mend everything. You guys start pumping into the balloon so we can find all the holes.
Irene is a woman, which, according to that quiz on how good a wife you are from the 20s that I took recently, means that she's a good wife. If she wants to be a good wife, she needs to be able to sew. So she can sew the balloon. With her own hair, I guess, maybe. No sooner said than done. In a couple of hours of laborious work, everything was ready, and the fully repaired balloon slowly started to lift the aircraft. Hurrah! The friends all joyfully shouted.
Guys, let me give you a hug.
With those words, Conan moved towards Henry and Irene, arms outstretched. Maybe don't. When Conan was walking past the bag, he kicked it by accident, and the egg rolled out from it. We're fucked! Throw the egg right now!
Where did it come from? I thought the natives took it away,
asked a puzzled Conan. They took it from us, and I took it from them while they were busy. Okay, so you're gonna get us fucked then. Oh, he gave him spare, army pajamas. That's nice. Oh, I really miss hot Doyle. Doyle was hot for 5 seconds, and then they ruined it. And now we just get this fucker.
Oh, you rascal!
Conan tapped him on the shoulder, grinning broadly.
Now there will be a new charge in Mech City Zoo.
Jesus Christ, these people are scum. Number one, they kept calling these native people savages and they wouldn't stop, just like the last game. Their first inclination is always to shoot first. And now they're just taking a fucking random egg from this mother dragon. Doesn't give the lady any pajamas. Nope. You stay in pelts. The ship was floating among the clouds, heading back to Mech City. Conan was cleaning his shotgun. Jesus, you look like every American racist on Twitter. What is going on here, man? She's probably got some trauma, more than you three. Doyle was proudly... Well, maybe Doyle as well, actually. Doyle was proudly standing by the steering wheel, and Henley with Irene were sitting together on the deck, admiring the horizon. The end! We got an ending. I think there's multiple endings. That's enough. Yippee! We all got home safe. We only killed a few people and probably that entire village is dead now. I imagine. Every single goblin in that village is dead and we're fine. What did we learn? Nothing. We learned no lessons. There were no lessons. There were no... Oh my god, everyone was horrible. These people are colonial nightmares and they won. What we learned is that shooting first and asking questions later, bumbling through and destroying a village and stealing an egg from a giant beast is what you should do. That's good. That's how you finish and win. We learned 27 plus 1. Let's quit the game. There we go. Fantastic. Thank you for watching. I think I'm going to end now. I've been live for around 2 hours. Jesus Christ. The reason I went live today, more than doing a birthday stream for a couple of hours, was that has been installed on my computer for easily 3 months. And I wanted it off. I bought that on Steam. I spent real money on that fucking game, genuinely. I think it was 50 cents in a sale, but I still spent real money on it. Achievements 11 out of 29. Playtime 77 minutes. I mean, you get your money worth. It's pretty good, right? Go to the shop page for this. Ooh, there's a Baldur's Gate 3 update. Go to the store page for this, please. This has
Thanks for the new
positive
compliments.
reviews. Ooh,
I'll
thank
use
you for
them
the gifted
well.
subs. That's extremely kind. Thank you. More to go back for. Like, this has positive reviews. 80% on Steam. You can buy the bundle for €15. They're all quite cheap. And I've played now 3 of these fucking games. Wait, I can buy. I already have Return of Red Riding Hood Enhanced Edition, but there's another version of it. There's a DLC. Is there a DLC? Non-linear text quest. I think there's a DLC for this, maybe. Red Riding Hood was incredible. Product received for free. Recommended. Dear God, this is tedious and cringy. How dare you? You saw a boiled penis at one point. The Adventurous 4 is the sequel to Wild Island Quest. A lot of these were given for free. Mixed. The sequel to Wild Island Quest with the same quirky graphics. Funny, but does not intend to be. Yes. I don't even know what was going on. First there was a very disturbing dog, then big bats, then Bigfoot. Then there was an ogre, then there was dragon, then we flew on giant seagull bats, and then we saved some cave lady who wasn't actually a cave lady, then we used a flamethrower. There was a lot of endings, because we ditched the flamethrower and power suit. A visual novel with occasional choose-your-own-adventure decisions. Yep. I mean, that's fair. You can there's a scene where you fight a fucking giant crocodile. There's a scene where you fight giant ants, apparently. So much for everybody. The logo for the game on Steam, I don't know if you can see it, I can't zoom in or anything because it's on Steam. The logo for the game is a naked boiled boy on a fucking horrible bat creature. That is what they've chosen to advertise their game with. Anyway, thank you for watching. I am 28 years old. By 28, I feel like, I don't know, if I was 18, if I went back and saw 18-year-old Dreya and said, hey, in 10 years, you're going to be live on Twitch for like a dozen people playing a game where a boiled boy rides a bat. I wonder what they would think. I wonder would they go, oh, that sounds cool? Or I wonder if they would kill themselves in front of me. I wonder if they would open up a vein in front of me and say, I can't let that come to be. Either way, I'm having fun. I'm happy. Never making 30. 28 is basically 30. It's the same fucking age, really. Like, I'm no longer young. I might just say I'm 30 for the next few years. Like, honestly, 27, 28 to about 40 is the same age. 40 is the next milestone. Like, that's kind of like a significant age then. After that, you're the same age until you're like 60, 70. Like, you go from, young adult ends at about 25. Then I'm like adult till I'm about 40, then I'm middle-aged till I'm about 70, then I'm old. That's all it is. That should be the only birthdays. Do we still have to wear the fedora? Right, I'm gonna raid somebody. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for the bits and the gifted subscriptions and stuff as well. That's always very, very appreciated. I'll be live on Monday. I have nothing left to live for. I'll be live on Monday. For something. Emma probably will be busy. She has a lot of essays, so I might just do like KOTOR on Monday or something. I don't know. We'll see. Bye, everybody. See ya. I'll put out a proper schedule tomorrow. Let me /raid because I had already forgotten to do it. Although it's a Saturday, basically no one's live. Very few people are live on Saturdays. I will raid this person. There we go. Thank you, everybody, for joining. It was a fun little mini stream. Like I said, live on Monday. I'm on YouTube if you want to go to YouTube. If you want to go... links. There's all my links. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you for being here over the past, few years. I think my affiliate anniversary is coming up at some point soon as well. I might do some sort of...
Oh no, me baps are out.
Thank you.
Oh, look at me baps.
I don't know what people do for those. A streamathon? That's a thing. Or a subathon? where it's like every sub you have to go longer. I might do something like that. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, bye. Bye. Bye.